as prescriptivist as it is to tell someone who's going through trauma or some kind of um instability, some kind of horrible emotional unstable event, um be it, and it doesn't have to be horrible, it can also be, lovey-dovey and la. When someone is going through something very strong emotionally, it is ill-advised to tell the person to to stop or to move or to, they're not listening. um what you want to do is to, and like I was saying, as prescriptive as it is to say these things to the person, and also to then say don't tell the person. In both accounts we're being prescriptivist, right? But I'm saying that you it is better to let a person feel what you're trying to say than to tell them something, right? Let a swimmer who's a let a non-swimmer feel that the water is okay, and over time, their body, their trillions of cells will join them, convinced I can do this, right? When somebody's in love, not listening to you, and you know this is the wrong person for them, don't yell, this is the wrong person. What you want to do is to ask them, how does this person make you feel? How does this person make you feel? And whenever they say things like, "Oh, this is amazing, it's magical, it's amazing," try to get them to say how, like how, not what the person makes them feel, but how do they get from, that point of like, in how do they get from the connection, the how do they get from A to B regarding feelings regarding that person? So how do they know they're in love with that person? By or via events, actions, and so on. Ask them these questions, and sooner or later they will have to confront this realization themselves, right? That's much smarter to ask them these questions. And you can't ask them questions like, oh, you may be able to say, how do you know the person loves you? Like, what do they do that convinces you that the feelings are reciprocal? Or what, tell me, how have you arrived here? Like, when they're like, oh, don't say, but he's not good for you, oh my god, I saw him with, you can be called all kind of names. Like, you could be called jealous, you could be misery loves company, all these things. Best thing to do is to ask them, questions. How are you convinced? Any good friend is going to do this, and no one who is a no one is going to look, well, no good person is going to look back at their friend and say, oh, you just were trying to like rob me of my joy, if what you're doing is asking them questions. I think any friend would respect that, when when things have like settled, and either they found the person is not a good person, or they're going on 20 years and they're like, but that was stand up of you, that was, commendable, because you had my back, right? So anyway, you can't like tell people, oh, don't do this, oh, no, or don't stop with ordering. So when someone's traumatized, don't be like, oh my god, what? And careful of the questions too, right? Why would he do that to you? Why did the pastor abuse you? What is going on with you? How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know? This is a question for the perp. Let's ask the pastor. Pan to the pastor. Hey, pastor, why did you do what you did? This is not a question for the survivor. This is a question for the perp. And to ask the perp these questions, or leave the person alone. So then, so then I was in such a horrible childhood, growing up with recurring abuses, and really like feeling it. And then, as a result, I think one of the things that I one of the first like primitive, I clearly haven't learned what's happening here, why is this happening to me. One of the first things I would do is like, ask myself, like, oh my god, what did I do? Put their disgusting view of me, like shine the camera on myself. Yeah, why? What's wrong with me? Flashlight. What is it? Is it something? Like, is it me? What is it about me? Why would anyone self-interrogate when the person who did the action to you is over there? Like, that's the person to ask and to, scrutinize and look at. This is a person with a problem. So, we need to like reverse the interrogation, flashlight. What's going on? Why did you do that? Why would he do that to you? No. Ask the perp why he would do that, learn to ask the right kind of questions to the abused. And anyway, so growing up with all of this kind of like abuse in the background, the natural thing is when my husband, stole my kids, which is what I wanted this video to be about initially, but I think I had to do like some kind of, groundwork in order for like perspective. But I would think, I did something, or oh my gosh, I'm so dirty, or like, oh, it's me, like, oh, I am the unattractive person, and he preyed on me, or like, I would just pick apart all the things that would have made it me. You hear a lot of people throw on concepts like the law of attraction, like, how are you going to tell a 3-year-old child, a 12-year-old child, that they did something that attracted this to them? How does that make sense? And these empty platitudes, oh, everything happens for a reason. Man, shut up. um there are a lot of things. Humans are all about sense making, and humans want to be understood. I'm speaking for the layman here. We want to be understood. We want to make sense of why things happen to us. So it's very normal for anyone to be after an abuse or so, like, just obsess over the details, right? Like, why did it happen? The circumstances under which it happened, like, where was I, all these different things, right? And some things we have, I believe we have some responsibility over. Like, if something happened to you, if you went running and you were raped, and you went running at 12 in the night, like my sister, wanted to do, right? She wanted to go running at 12 o'clock one night in Jamaica, and I was just like, why? um and something happened to you, then if it were me, I would say, hmm, I am not going to run at 12 o'clock again. Nothing is wrong with running at 12 o'clock in the night. Let's not get it twisted. The complete responsibility of the abuse lies at the feet of the perpetrator. However, in order to safeguard myself, I am going to also do what I can. Sometimes when you're on the road driving, a car will do something crazy, and it so happens that it's really hard to pinpoint who's at fault, you know? But if everyone shared a responsibility, or, like, if everyone did what they were, and I hate to use this word, supposed to, then, chances are that that car crash wouldn't happen, right? But because, you can't legislate human behavior, and because you can't, like, control people, and this is, it just makes it particularly, weird, because people will just do things and come what may, and they're like, yeah, whatever. So because that, and because many people are like unremorseful and aloof, the best thing to do is to safeguard, to be that defensive driver, to be like, okay, because I know you're a nutcase and you don't care about your life, and maybe this is a suicide mission, I'm going to make sure I drive defensively. I'm going to make sure I pay even more attention, you know and yeah, you do what you got to do, right? So, and I do have to go for my daughter soon at school. But the reason why I'm making this video, okay, now finally to the point. So the reason I'm making this video is because, like I started out saying, I had a lot of shit happen to me in life. And I thought to myself, okay, I've had a lot of shit happen to me in life, and there's nothing I can do about that, in hindsight. Like, it happened, right? And despite who's at fault, it happened to me. However, I think these stories, these, lessons, are these messages are highly valuable. And what I want to do is I want to tell these stories to you. I want whoever you are to listen to what it is that I have to say, in case you see something familiar happening in your life, so you were forewarned. I didn't have that growing up. Like I said, with my mom, with, we had an absent father. We didn't have this luxury of, like, having, someone tell us, hey, this is what's gonna happen when guys do this. They may mean that, and, watch out for this, and be careful here. Nothing of the sort. And so it was good in the sense that I just, like, lived very, just like, I guess, you know it's easy when you're not always thinking, oh, something bad's gonna happen, or what's gonna happen, or maybe, and you overthink. But at the same time, so you kind of like have this, innocent way, you go about life very innocently. And that's nice. It's a good experience to like be innocent and just like not like have all this fear and dread, right? Or loathing. But then coupled to that is the trauma, because you walk up into things you have no idea what they're about. So I'm hoping that by telling, relaying these stories, and I'll have to return to relay them, that you will be forewarned. And then there are some things that are more like things you're probably already going through. Like I'm now currently here in Germany to um sue the father of my daughter for paternity recognition. And so perhaps you two are also in a case of like an international case that involves like people from different, you know, corners of the world, and you want a kind of like flashlight, and now not every country, two countries are the same, have the same like laws or rules. And so things may, change somewhat, um I actually, my own searching and sleuthing, I saw that there are many people out there with questions. I saw so many people out there with questions, and I said to myself, okay, if I hired a lawyer, and if I, I'm going to uh take this guy to court, everything that I learn, I can pass on to someone else. I can help someone else who doesn't have the money, who doesn't know what to do, who may not know where to look online, to find these things, and I can help that person. And so I'm going to help you.